Yeah, yeah, good. So in case you guys can't hear out there, Amos was asking about insight for addiction and a light language transition around that. So let's let Judah talk a little bit about addiction first. Yes, so addictions are so broad and so varied and complicated, but they are basically a way to numb pain, the pain body. And as we were speaking of before, the ego will always cause pain and suffering, and the absence of ego is the absence of pain and suffering. And unfortunately, most people do not have any tools to begin to address the ego. They don't know how to heal their pain, the root emotional issues. And if they are very old and historical, even from past lives, they may simply not have the understanding. And for many, the pain is so great, especially in times like these, that to begin to feel their pain is very scary for them. It's very frightening. They feel like once they begin to feel the pain, it will not stop, and it will be the end of them. And this is something the ego is very effective at convincing people that if they begin to feel their pain, they will die. And the ego constantly threatens this threat of death. And you see, there are many young people who are committing suicide now because of this very thing. They are in so much emotional pain, and because they have been medicating with various things, and those things have lost their ability to numb and quell the pain, they are giving up. And so the ego presents death as the way out. For listen to this, the ego would rather that you die than that you become God that you are. And either the ego will be God or God will be God. Either your ego will be God or your higher self, your fifth dimensional, perfect, eternal, blameless, irreparable soul will be God. But there can't be two gods. And so learn about the ego, recognize it, learn how to recognize it in yourself so that you may begin to be free of its tyranny, and understand that anything that you can't do without, that you feel compelled to partake of to numb or quell pain, is an attempt to silence the pain of your egoic parts. Now, we're not saying to annihilate the ego, we're not saying to amputate your egoic parts, but to understand that they are fearful, childlike, hurting parts that need to be loved and comforted by you, your higher self. The part of you, your fifth dimensional self, is a loving parent. You may not have had a loving parent. You may not have had any example of love or little example of love from a parent figure, but your higher self is a loving parent. It is the Father and Mother God inside you, and your higher self is perfectly capable of reparenting your frightened, painful, egoic, childlike parts. So all addiction is the attempt to silence or coddle or comfort these egoic parts like a pacifier in a baby's mouth. Now, addictions are so widespread. They are everything from scrolling. Scrolling is a big addiction right now. Scrolling is rewiring your brains, my dears. Careful, and television and alcohol, drugs, as you said, prescription drugs are devastating. Big Pharma is devastating the soul of this nation with prescription drugs, 1 in 4. And this is heartbreaking, because it is, as it silences your pain, it also silences your soul. And yes, we would love to help. And yes, this gentleman here is a tremendous resource in this area. This gentleman has he is in the top 1% of all healers on the planet today. He is fully enlightened in healing and health, and he can set people free from addictions without medications. And one of many reasons this vessel fell in love with him was because she had been off and on of antidepressants from the age of 16, and she had been told that she would never be able to get off of them. And he said to her, "Oh, I don't believe that." And he was true and integrous to his word, and she is completely clean of prescription medications and does not partake of any sort of drugs. And even this week she had a very painful interchange with a child of hers, and she said to him, I would love to have a pill right now or a drink because of the pain, you see. But if you can embrace the emotional pain and feel your feelings, you can be free of them forever. And this is the lie the ego tells you, is that there's no end to them and these bad feelings will kill you, and it is not true. There is most certainly a bottom to every painful emotion. And if you feel it all the way through, all of it, embrace it completely and express it, it's gone and you are free. Now let's have this transmission. Any more questions about addiction before the transmission? No. And this is something we want to say to you, my dear. Don't be ashamed if you're struggling with addiction. There are very few people who are not. And also this, you might find that once you're free of every addiction, that you're the odd man out almost all the time. Because there are very few people who are not medicating to some degree on a continuum with some sort of substance. And there's a loneliness at times that comes from that, but here we hope to be some family for you in that. And just know that when you don't partake, when you are with friends or whoever or people that you care about, that you are being, you are opening a door of possibility to them that they may too be free one day. Okay. Okay, let's ask the Pleiadians for a light language transmission for, what do we want to say? Do we want to say for getting free of addictions, or what do we want to...
Like dependencies.
Okay, all right. Okay. So we're going to ask the Pleiadian sisters to bring us a light language transmission for overcoming any and all dependencies and addictions of every kind. And before I do that, I want to give everybody, I've been seeing some comments on YouTube that people just want to just know what to do. So I'm going to give you something right here. So one thing you can do is this. You can say, angels, can you please tag and treat any old pain in me from this life or past lives that's causing me to want to medicate? And can you tag and treat those and do a radical transformation and heal the original wound at the bottom of this addiction, whatever it is. So that's an example of a script, of something that you can ask angels, and you can do that before you go to bed at night. and just ask them to treat it while you're sleeping. They will. Okay, here we go. And as we speak to you now, you are seeing and becoming aware of the thing that you are dependent on, the thing that you are medicating with, whether it is an activity or a substance. And we will ask you to hold that in mind now as we proceed. O a h ne a te ka saka a ba ne no te kanta yishina o te akata a ane e naka a kachana eke. Okay, hand over your heart, and we want to just heal that place, the pain that you are medicating. Ochi e utaka a I e c o utaka a ucha urata utaka anta. Ete shana utaka ate onda unta untaka eskara ashti utaka a aniana a ina e yo o yana a tsitsiano utaka a nane eteke te ishte tata untaka potsa anu ushta anu utake ishna a uha asi Achiano asaka ata etike ochantaka ate ai tuke shete to ata ai ni itikan chike ota utai utai utakai ini each utka ze I in I no round ish ne etike. And in every realm of time and space, past, present, future, parallel lives, we tag and treat every pain and every subconscious belief and lie that is underneath your compelling urge to indulge in substances and practices to medicate. And we uproot those, and we send them on their way, and they are not welcome anymore. All pain may go. Have a big inhale and just exhale all that pain out. And again, just exhale all the pain out. Good, well done.